Hi everyone! Welcome back to Creation is Cool as we continue our series addressing different scientific fields, or ologies. As you may know, ology means the study of something, and you may have heard of biology, the study of life, or zoology, the study of animals. Well, today we're going to be talking about ecology.
Ecology is the study of living organisms and their environments. This field of science tries to understand how all life forms, including humans, interact with each other and their physical environments. For example, ecology can help answer questions about how and why animals can make use of their habitats. Questions like, why do dragonflies travel such long distances? And how can corals live at the bottom of the ocean? If these questions sound familiar, we've actually covered these topics before, so go ahead and check them out if you want to learn more about it.
Many of our videos actually do consider ecology, but for today's video, we are going to ask perhaps the most important questions about ecology. How does ecology point to God, the creator of both the living beings and their environments? And how does ecology highlight God's providence to his creation?
To answer these questions, let's take a closer look at the case of Mount St. Helens. Travel with us to the state of Washington here in the Pacific Northwest and journey back over 40 years to May 18th, 1980. On this day, during the early morning, a major eruption took place on the mountain.
This was a very dramatic and intense event. An amazing amount of energy was released from the earth. There were earthquakes, plenty of smoke, molten magma, flowing lava, and a column of ash and gas that flew 15 miles into the air. Huge amounts of ice and snow were melted and formed into mudslides that flowed for miles around. The thermal energy and geological power of the earth was on full blast.
This was also a catastrophic event. Not only did the lava burn up everything in its path and mudslides covered most of the landscape, but plenty of sediment was also deposited and hardened. Animals were buried and fossilized, trees were burned and overturned, and almost all life was erased from the side of the mountain. You would think that it would take years and years for life to reappear on the face of such a devastated landscape.
This was the initial projection that scientists made after the eruption occurred, but only after a few years, life began to return at a rapid rate. The northern pocket gophers were the most likely candidates to survive the eruption as they lived underground, and soon enough, they indeed returned, or rather, they never actually left Mount St. Helens in the first place. Like all gophers, they were able to survive by staying safe in their underground burrows, and when the eruption was over, they simply came out of hiding.
In the midst of the infertile volcanic ash, prairie lupin, a type of plant, sprouted from the earth. These are a pioneer species, or hardy plants, that are able to colonize barren environments. The lupins are nitrogen fixers, which means they were able to reintroduce nutrients into the soil, allowing for other plants to repopulate the landscape. And with the return of the plants came the animals. And those gopher burrows? They also brought up nutrients from deep underground and contributed to the growth as well. They even provided safe havens for amphibians during the eruption, and they repopulated the many pools created during that time.
The entire mountainside became repopulated with plants and animals just a few years after the incident. Just look at this footage and see for yourself.
What an amazing recovery! And it's all because of the amazing way our Creator God has designed plants and animals to be able to still successfully respond to their environment even after a catastrophic event. We see in Genesis 1, verse 22, that God Himself blesses the animals He created and commanded them to be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. God's will is for His creation to multiply and populate the earth, and so He sovereignly provides them with the adaptations and abilities to do so.
We can even think back to the biblical account of the flood in Genesis 7 and 8. Knowing that the flood would erase all life from the face of the earth, God provided Noah with instructions to build the ark and to bring a pair of each animal into the ark. In Genesis 8:17, after the flood, God commands Noah to bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and animals and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. Again, we see God's will for his creation to continue to multiply and fill the earth and his care for his creation. Thus, he sovereignly orchestrated and provided the means for life to continue to thrive after the flood by preserving animals in Noah's ark.
We continue to see God's providence over his creation through events such as the eruption of Mount St. Helens. God has equipped his creation with the means to quickly multiply and repopulate the environments which once had no life. And as we study the ecology of that area over that short period of time, we are able to see how God has sovereignly provided for and enabled his creation to do so.
If God did not create prairie lupin as a pioneer plant and a nitrogen fixer, the soil of Mount St. Helens would not have had the necessary nutrients for other plants to grow. If God did not create gophers to be animals that live underground, then they would not have been able to play their part of contributing to the regrowth and recovery of the mountain. So, despite the immense destruction that took place after Mount St. Helens erupted, through studying its ecology, we can see God's providence in equipping his creation with the ability to successfully thrive in their environments and to fulfill his will of being fruitful and multiplying in the earth.
So, the next time you think about ecology, we hope that you are reminded of how God himself provides and deeply cares for all of his creation. And remember, creation is cool, but our Creator is even cooler. We'll see you next time!
Check out our other Creation is Cool videos here.